you know your country is messed up when you can have six individuals in a court of law who've just been convicted and sentenced for murder, be all smiles, jovial, and even brag that they'll be out in no time. Hey, bo, we are a sick and broken country. Molo Sanbonani, hello, how's it? Good day. Welcome to another episode of the Vuka Nazo Show, where we give you news, analysis, and a quick snippet. My name is Sihle Ngobese. I'm going to jump straight into this one because, again, it bothered me, it disturbed me. And as the young ones say these days, it triggered me. It definitely triggered me, if you will, to watch these six individuals who are convicted of the murder of the late Gauteng health official, Babita Deokaran. That's the same woman who was a whistleblower into the massive corruption happening in the Gauteng Department of Health. She was murdered, indeed assassinated, by people who clearly didn't want her to spill the beans and tell the truth and expose the level of the rot in that department. A massive story that captured the hearts of South Africans who are sick of corruption in this country, of course. And it prompted, of course, a response from the South African police services, specifically the Hawks, who 3 days after the murder made arrests, and they must be commended for that. The six of individuals, of course, if I quickly go to this media statement by the South African Police Service, were Uphakamani Vincent Hadebe, Mklangano Pinda Ndlovu, Sanele Mbele, Usiphakanyiswa Dladla, Uzitha Hadebe, and of course Usiphiwe Mazibuko, were all found guilty and sentenced by the South Gauteng High Court, that's this week, for the brutal murder of Mrs. Babita Deokaran, end of quote. Their sentencing also follows them effectively taking a plea deal and pleading guilty for the crime. However, you would think individuals who convicted and sentenced for murder, as these chaps were, would have been showing remorse and very sad about this particular incident. But no, not at all. This was them in court, literally being all giggles, all smiles, and even shaking hands with family as if they had done nothing wrong. Watch. Indeed, a sickening sight, one which left me sort of angry, if I'm to be brutally honest. Indeed, the judge himself in this matter, Judge Motsamai Makume, basically saying the court itself also isn't satisfied on this particular case because the actual gunman and the mastermind behind the murder of this woman are still at large. And the police, of course, are continuing the investigation in that regard. I want to quickly just jump to this News 24 piece. And again, kudos to News 24 who have kept up with the story from day one, raising awareness around it. But they write up the judge's comments as follows. Now, in sentencing the accused, Judge Motsamai Makume said the court was not satisfied because the person who pulled the trigger had not been arrested. He's quoted as having said, "There are people in this matter who are not named," he added. "Their actions have caused great pain to Babita's family and left her daughter to live with a loss of a mother." That's according to the judge. And indeed, it is a very tragic part of the story, and sometimes a forgotten part of the story is the actual family of Babita Deokaran. Let me just quickly read a quote from her brother, who really does paint the picture of how bad things have been since the loss of their relative and how appalling it is to watch these men show no remorse. Again, quoted in the same News 24 piece, Deokaran's brother Urakesh said although the trial was shortened by the plea development, it brought them little comfort because the person who ordered the hit was still out there. Yes, he's quoted as saying justice has been served, but I see no remorse in any of them. Today's proceedings end a harrowing chapter in our life, and we hope and believe there'll be another chapter where the mastermind will be arrested. End of quote. And indeed, that's the crux of this matter. It's something that speaks to not just this particular case, but also the broader crime scene that is South Africa and the millions of people in this country who are victims of crime. It seems that criminals in this country, especially the violent and murderous types, almost have no sense of fear. Firstly, for even being caught, which is why I really commended the police in this matter. But even if they are caught, going through the justice system, there is the perception that really the sentences that these hardened criminals are getting are seeing them literally get away with murder.